Hello, welcome into Sports Talk. I'm your host, Thomas Mott. Today we're alongside two-time Super Bowl champion Josh Davis. Josh, thanks for being here.
Glad to be here.
Today on the show, we're playing our favorite game. It's called Fact or Fiction. Essentially, I give Josh some scenarios that could happen in the NFL, and he's going to tell me if those scenarios are indeed fact or just straight fiction. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. The Denver Broncos are struggling on offense, but they look really good on defense. So, Josh, fact or fiction, the Broncos will have a first-round playoff bye?
Fiction. Here's the reason why. Peyton Manning, as crazy as that sounds, I mean, he leads the league in interceptions with 10. He has 3 of those for pick sixes. He's really putting this Broncos team in a bind, and they've played subpar competition so far. They have 1 victory against a team that is above 500 record-wise. I'm not sure that any of that is going to improve because we're seeing him decline physically. And I think that, honestly, the Bengals and the Patriots are better teams than the Broncos because of Peyton Manning and his struggles. So I think those 2 teams lock up the bye and leave the Broncos out of it.
Yeah, you got to figure Peyton hasn't thrown this many interceptions through his first 6 games since his rookie season.
Yeah.
If he can turn it around, they're going to be a good team, but right now it's just the defense carrying them through to those 6-0, 6 wins to start. You mentioned the Bengals. You seem to be really high on them, so I got to ask you, though, fact or fiction, the Bengals with Andy Dalton will finally win a playoff game?
Fact. If they don't do it this year, they never will. The way that the Bengals came back against the Seahawks, I think that was a big statement game for the Bengals and Andy Dalton. He's been playing well enough to get some MVP considerations. I think that the question mark will be whenever we get into December and even January, if we're going to the playoffs there, will he be able to consistently throw the deep ball? Because he's got a little bit of a weaker arm. That'll be the question mark. But like I say, I think they'll get the bye, which means it'll be a home game for him. Sets up perfectly. If they're ever going to win a playoff game, that's the one to win.
This has got to be the year right here. You mentioned that comeback against the Seahawks. They were down 17 points in the fourth quarter, came all the way back against that defense. It's got to give Andy Dalton some confidence. Hopefully he can carry it on through the rest of the season. And then finally, our last question, moving over to the NFC, more specifically the ever-interesting NFC East. The Eagles got the win on Monday Night Football. They're 3-3, tied for the division lead. Fact or fiction, the Eagles will win the NFC East?
Fact. I think just by default, because the way the Eagles played in that game, they're in first place. The Giants have issues on offensive, defensive line. Cowboys are injured, and the Redskins we just don't know about. So I think by default, they win.
Yeah, you're never really going to know in that division. Always come down to the final week. Other than that, that's all the time we have for today. For Josh Davis, I'm Thomas Mott. See you again next time.